Hello everyone and welcome to the Manc Podcast. We are here again for another wonderful chat about Manchester. My name is Joe. I've got Steph here as well. Hiya, mate. Tim's there as well. Quick swiggy of brew.
Hiya, mate.
2 mugs on your table, that's odd.
One's water.
Stay hydrated.
Do you believe him? Who knows? And my name is Joe, and the Manc Podcast today has got a very special guest. The Mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burnham, will be joining us in a few seconds, and me, Tim and Steph will just have a chat with him about what's coming up for the future, about his re-election, about what's happened in the past as well. But before we get on to that, it's the Manc Story of the Week, your favourite time of the show, isn't that right, guys? Round of applause. I want to clap for this week.
Okay.
The Manc Story of the Week is simple. We go on the manc.com, get the biggest stories that have happened this week, and we just chat about them. Tim, you're first.
Am I?
Yes,
Amazing.
Tim. What's
Big news here for Harry Potter fans. You can now ride the Hogwarts Express throughout the Northwest this summer.
Expelliarmus. Sorry.
Okay, that was weird.
Okay. So you can ride the train from the movie through North Yorkshire.
Oh, Expelliarmus.
It's the Pendle Dalesman is the name of the train.
Right, lovely.
It's going through Lancashire. It's stopping in a bunch of places: Lancaster, Preston, Blackburn, Clitheroe, Long Preston, and you can. It's doing 13 dates. You can go on it and have some bubbly or a 4-course meal.
Bubbly?
I think
4-course meal.
there's various things, and massive news for Harry Potter fans. You can relive your favourite journey. To your favourite magical school.
Oh my God!
It's all right. Do you know Harry Potter in the first one where he buys all the sweets?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Great scene.
Yeah.
I was jealous of him as a kid.
Was it? Did they fly alongside the train in
Second.
the car?
In
Yeah,
one
the
of them.
Chamber of Secrets.
Yeah.
I think.
I remember I had the book of that. I had the signed book of that.
Oh,
J.K. Rowling.
J.K.
Yeah, in
Wow.
year 6 we came to Manchester University.
Yeah.
And in some big event hall that they had there, J.K. Rowling was doing a talk and reading excerpts of the book.
She didn't talk to you.
Yeah, to me. Just to me now, to loads of schools. And then we went up and she's signed everyone's books. I got got Philosopher's Stone signed
Still
by
have
her.
it?
No, don't think so. Probably worth a bomb now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Original copy signed by J.K.
yeah.
On eBay.
You're a fool. Steph, what's your Manc Story of the Week?
So mine. Oh, it's a good one.
It's good.
Peter Kay.
Yes.
We all know Peter Kay, don't we?
Garlic bread.
Garlic bread.
Bread. He's been crowned Manchester's favourite UK comedian, which only makes sense. He's from Bolton.
Yeah.
And I completely agree. He's my favourite of all time.
He's a class. Peter Kay is lovely. I remember.
So relatable.
His DVD's live at Bolton Albert Hall is a good one. It's a cracker, that one. But yeah, I mean, you got some other good comedians in there. Jason Manford, I guess he would have been up.
Oh yeah, of
for
course
the
he would.
debate
Yeah,
or the tackle. Oh, have you got your favourite? Is Peter Kay your favourite?
Just from Manchester, or...
Well, we don't want to broaden it out, do we? Because we're here all day.
I know, yeah. That's a bit of a tricky one.
Is Peter Kay, you're going to stick with Peter Kay?
I think I like him a lot more in, like, Phoenix Nights and stuff. That's where I really found... What I really found funny.
Yeah.
Like, situational.
What we need, I think we need a longer chat about Peter Kay and comedy.
Yeah.
You're not happy with me? You don't like him?
My mate sent us a... my mate parents lived in Ramsbottom.
Yeah.
And he just sent a video to our group one, like, Christmas Eve morning, like Christmas Day, like 2 a.m. And he'd just seen Peter Kay walking home in the middle of nowhere in around that area. And he was just walking home with Peter Kay.
What?
Yeah.
I want to walk home with Peter Kay.
Just was like drunk eating chips or whatever.
That's mad.
Oh, I love Peter Kay.
Love that. If you got any videos of you walking home at night with Peter Kay, get in the comments. My final story, the final story of the Manc Top Stories of the Week, is the fact that there is a big Vimto escape room happening, made by 2 friends who were furloughed during the first lockdown. They've come together to design this new virtual escape room that gets to challenge you if you can find the people who have stolen the secret recipe.
Sounds like a sticky situation.
It does. Round of applause for Tim there, getting in nice and early.
Very
if you want to get involved in this, and if you're up to a bit of a challenge, if you've got some mates, you're doing some... What are you laughing at?
I said very good.
I missed it as well because I was
could have kept that one to
story.
yourself.
Yeah, sorry.
If you want to get involved anyway, you can do it. It's only 15 quid for this pass, and the link is on the Manc website to get involved into an escape room. Bit of fun when you aren't doing much until the big day, April 12th, yeah, I'm getting that right, till the big day. So you need some evenings, you need some plans for the evening. Get on that escape room. So that was the Manc's top stories of the week, and we turn our attention to a very, very special guest. We're very excited to have on our week. Look at Steph's smile. There's a big smile on. And so is Tim as well. We bring in the Mayor of Greater Manchester. It is Andy Burnham from Zoom. Look at that. How are you doing, Andy?
Thank you very much. Hi, everybody.
Andy, it is a pleasure to have you on. We've got you for the Manc Podcast, and we're going to talk all things Manchester. But I thought the first question I'd ask you is about your day. We're coming to the end of the day now when we're recording this. What does a mayor do in the day of the life of a Greater Manchester mayor?
Oh, well, that's a good question. I went out for a run, actually, first thing. Ooh. That's not bad, is it? That's a good start to the day. Yeah. Don't do it every day, but managed it today. But I've had a bit of just one of those Zoom days, unfortunately. I had a meeting with the vaccines minister, first thing. Okay. Then all 10 leaders of Greater Manchester, where we were considering a lot of big things that we're going to be bringing forward quite soon. Then loads of other meetings on buses and bikes and honestly, all kinds of different things. I'll let you into a secret. Yeah. The sneaky thing I did this afternoon was I had England versus India on my iPad as I was doing all these meetings. So don't tell anyone. But
no, I won't tell anyone. You need a bit of a better result in the sporting world, don't you? Wasn't a great Burnley win over the weekend, was it, against Everton? Sorry to bring that up.
You're losing me votes now because everyone knows I support Everton, and that's not a great thing, is it?
We follow you on Twitter. We saw your disappointment. Listen, I still think you'll get top 4 if that makes any difference.
It does. I like to think the Manc would accept Everton as the acceptable face of Merseyside football. I think you'd give us that endorsement, wouldn't you?
Of course we would.
No comment.
we want to just look back at 2020. This is kind of on the verge of 2020 and 2021. Obviously it was such a dramatic year and there was a lot going on, some events, but some of the positives from it. And United We Stream was a massive positive. We saw an incredible New Year's Eve party as well, and you were so vocal on Twitter and getting involved, supporting what was an incredible initiative by Sacha Lord and some amazing people. Did you enjoy a certain performance from United We Stream the most? And were you up for the New Year's Eve party? Did you do 24 hours of it?
I didn't manage 24, but I did quite a bit of it. K-Class, I think, is the one I remember from way back when. So that was my favourite. But I just can't believe how much it was something that caught the mood, wasn't it? All last year, really. When Sacha Lord first came to me saying that he wanted to do it, I was like, do you reckon it will work? I said, maybe, and I was a bit hesitant. He said, no, come on, back it. And I did. And yeah, I mean, the New Year's Eve party, I think it reached 80 countries. 80 countries were kind of tuning in to the Hacienda House party, which is just fantastic, isn't it, in these times, broadcasting Manc culture around the world. So we were dead proud of it, actually, really, really proud of what Sacha, all of the United We Stream team, but all the performers who gave us their time. It was a great thing, actually.
Yeah, it was amazing. And we had Sacha in not long ago chatting about it and chatting about the future. I've got down here that I've seen you at Jimmy's Bar doing a bit of DJing yourself. Is that now with the pubs and that opening, the bars opening, fingers crossed, everything goes to plan? Will we see an Andy Burnham DJ set anytime soon anywhere?
Yeah, I'd done a few. I did one on United We Stream, actually. I took on the Liverpool mayor and beat him. I'm very pleased to say with my set list. I did a bit of DJing in Chorlton a couple of years ago. So, I'm always up for it. I'm open to offers. Maybe I'll need it after May. Maybe I'll have more time on my hands after the elections. I'll take it on full time.
We could see you at Warehouse Project.
Exactly. Well, if I've no longer got a job after the May election, I'll be asking for touting for work.
Yeah,
do that. An Andy Burnham club night would definitely go down a storm.
I'd do that.
Just on the sort of nightlife culture, we had Sacha in, and we know it's how important it is for yourself that stuff gets back to normal. Are you confident if everything goes well and the dates are hit and we get to April 12th, which is big, and the June 21st, if everything goes well and according to plan, are you confident that the Manchester nightlife can sort of bounce back and we can be in a good place with it all?
I think so. And the reason I'm a little bit hesitant is, we just don't know what the rest of this year's got in store. We've got the vaccine going out well, but there's always the risk of new strains. So obviously I've got to be a little open to the challenges that may still be ahead of us. But I've been so proud of Sasha and everything he's done to speak for the industry through all of this and keep people together and keep people strong. Because for us, it's the lifeblood of the city, isn't it? The venues, the nights out that we have. I mean, I'm missing it so badly. I can't tell you. I've got huge withdrawal symptoms about a few beers and the gig and then getting the last train from Oxford Road. I mean, that is my little routine, you see. People may spot me here and there at various venues around the city. I do take in a lot of music. And the last one I saw was the Cortinas at Albert Hall. And I look back on it and just think, God, how brilliant was it? But also, it just feels like a different world now, doesn't it? Like a different era. And I think we're all desperate to get back to it, aren't we? So I would even, people have different views about, vaccine certificates or passports. From my point of view, we should embrace anything that gets the Manchester music scene going again. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, 100%. I would be... it's just an exciting time, and what's getting me excited is seeing bands and DJs and other musicians and artists just posting about future tours coming up.
Yeah.
A bit more excitement in the air about it, and we hope that...
that's brilliant, isn't it? What have you got in your diary then? I've got New Order at Heaton Park, 12th of September, triple underlined in mine.
That would be an unbelievable gig. I want Leeds Festival, which, it's a big gig. Hopefully that go ahead in August. And then seeing other bands that rearrange, like the Lottery Winners, if you know them. I think you might know them.
I do.
They're an unbelievable
I
band.
was like a bit of a mentor. They were my local band when I was the MP for Lee. And,
were they? With the doing wonders.
I'm
DJing before him. So come down and see me DJing before the Monday.
I love them. They're going to go far. Steph, what are you waiting to see? What's in your diary?
I've got nothing in my diary yet.
What?
I've got a festival in London, but that's London, isn't it?
It's all right. Go down.
Hopefully soon, get some stuff booked up. I'm super excited. Yeah.
Tim, what have you got?
I've got Shambhala Festival later towards September, which is middle of the country, I think.
You don't know where you're going, you're just heading for the middle.
Yeah, it's just somewhere. But no, I'm looking forward to Park Life and getting stuck in with that. Yeah.
That sounds a bit middle of the road, that Middle England festival there.
Yeah. I just couldn't remember specifically where it was. It's like, around Birmingham, somewhere there.
Nondescript music.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows what they've got. But moving on, Andy, I just wanted to ask you about the GM Homes partnership. So it's obviously one of the UK's most successful homelessness projects. It's around 400 rough sleepers given a roof over their heads. I just wanted to ask you about your involvement with that scheme and why you think it's been such a success.
Yeah, it's been an incredible success, to be honest. So this was when a lot of our housing providers came together working with Shelter and some other partners. It was a new way of thinking about how we help people off the streets, which is kind of simple, but too often doesn't happen. It's just about giving people a home and some support and breathing space to recover. Because if anyone's been sleeping rough, the toll that takes on people's physical health, but probably more importantly, their mental health is absolutely massive. And they can't recover if they're in one place one time and then they're out in a different place and getting passed from pillar to post. Yeah. And the GM Homes partnership approach was about giving people a home plus support. And it's really worked in turning people's lives around. And we're carrying it forward now with what we call a housing first scheme. So it carries on. It's been a real journey we've all been on in Greater Manchester on homelessness in the last 4 years. But it's probably the thing I'm most proud about in terms of the change that I've been able to make working with so many other people across the city region. We're in such a different place today than we were in 2017 on homelessness, where the figures were just going up and up and up. And I think there was a sense of what we're doing about this. It was not in a good place back then. But we've learned a lot. We're not perfect. We've got a lot further to go, but we've learned a lot in the last 4 years. And I'm really proud of the job that people have done.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And just to follow up on that, what would you say the average Manc, our average friend on the street can do to help homelessness in Manchester? What can we do?
Well, there's so many things people can do. It's a good question to ask. People can volunteer for some of our amazing charities. The Booth Centre, Coffee for Craig, Mustard Tree. God, I could name a load more, and I'm not naming a lot of really good charities there, but those are just a few that are just out there all the time supporting people. They could donate to the Greater Manchester Mayor's charity, because the charity has to raise a lot of money actually to support what we call a bed every night. So that's our emergency housing scheme. Every single night in the city, it looks after over 500 people. And bear in mind, it didn't even exist back in 2017. Mm-hmm. So we built it through the voluntary contributions of people. Your viewers may remember the great Vincent Company, who gave us such a massive lift when we were trying to get Bed Every Night going. Without Vincent's help, I don't know whether we would be where we are. We wouldn't be, actually. And so, I look back on the journey and look at some inspired people who've helped us along the way. But we do continue to need people's support. And I think if we're honest, after the pandemic, we've probably got a mental health crisis waiting in the wings, and all kinds of other challenges that, are ahead of us. So I'm kind of worrying that we're going to face the prospect of more people coming onto the streets when the eviction ban ends, and it's going to be tough. Let's not make any bones about it. And we will need to continue to call on people's support. But one of the best things about the job that I hold is just how amazing the public of Greater Manchester are, and the way that they respond if you put the call out. It's just phenomenal, 100%. Really. It is humbling when you see how much people are prepared to do. And it's what makes this place so special, isn't it?
Amazing, thank you.
Thank you, Andy. I'm sure we can put some links to what Andy just mentioned in the description of this clip video, or if you're listening, go and have a Google of what Andy was talking about there. Steph.
My question for you, Andy, well, I'd love to talk about 1GM. Tell us more about the progress of 1GM, how it started, how has it progressed, and how has it helped people who've been hit hard by the pandemic?
It started, Steph, after the slight disagreement I had with Boris late last year. We were in a position where, the restrictions were really affecting people's jobs, incomes. I don't think the government were listening. We didn't manufacture that big fallout with them. It was the fact that they just wouldn't take on board the scale of the problems that we had. And 1GM was a response to that, really, where the city region came together and said, well, we need to pull together here and do more to help people. So the Bishop of Manchester was there, Gary Neville was there. There was just people from so many different walks of life supporting it. And it was an appeal that we made that brought in a lot of money that's helped us support people over the winter period. So, I'm just so grateful to everybody. And it links, of course, to what Marcus Rashford has been doing, because Marcus has been a massive kind of Mancunian presence throughout the pandemic, hasn't he? And the difference he's made is just incalculable, really. He's given, more than anything, he's raised a lot of awareness and a lot of money and other things, but he's just given a voice to kids who are often neglected and forgotten about, hasn't he? And God bless him for that. I mean, what a service he's done. So in many ways, 1GM has raised money specifically, Steph, but it's kind of, I think, built out that wider sense of people from all walks of life, footballers, people from the church, everyone pulling together to help the city through what has been an exceptionally challenging time.
Amazing.
Andy, thank you about that. All those amazing causes and what's happening next, like I say again, in the description below, and go and see how you can maybe get involved in that. We got a little, in a week or so, it'll be a year since we all kind of changed the way we do things in life, and lockdown happened. I'm sure we all got our own memories of that and how stuff and life and work all changed and we had to adapt. For you, Andy, I'm sure you've gone over the last year a lot with over different interviews. But have you had time of reflection over the last year and how you did in your role, and have you sat down and kind of breathed in the last year a bit, because it's been hectic, hasn't it?
It has, and if I'm honest, probably not really. I've worked 7 days for the last year. I'm not saying that to seek any sympathy. It's just a fact. It's been a really intense time, and obviously doing it all from home makes it hard as well. So you're working harder than ever, but in quite an isolated way. It's a strange thing, isn't it? And obviously we had the big disagreement with the government, and there's been a lot of fallout from all of that. So it's been a really a really tough time. And if I'm honest, I haven't really kind of, reflected on it, or just been sort of pushing on really and trying to get through and get to the other side. So it will have taken, and it has taken a toll on all of us in our different ways, hasn't it? And I'm grateful actually to the way in which the place has held together. It was quite something last year to be in that disagreement with the government, and actually to look behind me and just see absolutely the sort of kind of shoulder to shoulder with people behind me. People did give me a lot of support, and I just says so much about this place, doesn't it? That people have stuck together as they always do, and on a like local level, people have been looking out for each other and helping each other. So the truth is, it's taken a toll, hasn't it? And recovery is gonna take some time. But I actually also think, when I look to the future, that it's going to accelerate some changes in Greater Manchester that we needed to make. Transport is one of them. I've got a big decision looming about the future of buses in Greater Manchester. And I'm certain, actually, that although it's been tough and it's kind of disrupted us in some ways, it's going to actually open up opportunities for quicker change in others coming out of it. So, I think the great thing about Manchester, if you've always kind of look back at its history, and I do look back at its history, it's like an inspiring thing to do for me. It's amazing how the city has coped with change, isn't it, over the years? Massive change, and copes with it, and always embraces the new, always goes on to the next. And I think that will happen again this time.
Well, it's been one hell of a 4-year ride as well when we think about where it all started. We're here to get you on to talk about re-election because it's coming up. As if you've not had enough on your plate, you've got to go again for the Mayor of Greater Manchester. Do you consider, I know we've talked about a lot of your achievements, but what do you consider your greatest achievement over the last 4 years of being in the role?
Ooh, so I mentioned homelessness, and I do feel intensely proud about what we've been able to achieve there. So as I say, we had about 300 or more people sleeping rough every night back in 2017. It's now down to 70 on the last count. I mean, it changes, but whatever the exact numbers are, because they do vary from one week to the next, it's a big change that we've made. So I am very proud about that. But I also said back in 2017 that I would prioritise young people, because young people had often been made the target for cuts by Westminster. The first place to look if they wanted to try and save some money. And I don't see how you can build a strong society on that basis. You've got to do the opposite, in my view. You've got to make the next generation the priority for investment. And it may sound simple to some people, but I don't think it is to a lot of the kids in our city region. I promised them a free bus pass, 16 to 18-year-olds. And it was a big commitment because it actually cost quite a lot of money, and nobody was giving me a budget to pay for it. And, it was something I kind of stuck my neck out on, but I've delivered it. And so the R Pass, as it's called, is now a reality for about 70,000 kids across our 10 boroughs.
It's incredible.
It's a little piece of plastic in people's pockets, wallets, bags, wherever. And it just opens up to them opportunities that they may not have otherwise, to get out and about, to take advantage of this amazing city centre of ours. So many young people growing up in Greater Manchester get a bit trapped in their own borough or their own community because of the cost of transport. And I hope the R Pass has already changed quite a lot of lives, because it's not just free bus travel. We link it to free entry to gigs and to sport and to all kinds of exciting stuff. So it really is a passport for young people to kind of take advantage of everything that Greater Manchester has got to offer, and particularly those who would normally think that those opportunities are not open to them. So I do feel passionate about that. I grew up here. I remember it costing 10p to go from Lee to city centre Manchester to the Arndale, and that isn't the case these days, is it? With the cost of the way buses are now. So I feel very proud about the R Pass, and I'm going to commit to its future if re-elected.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Well, it's an amazing achievement. That there's also a couple of ones that not necessarily to do with politics, but getting a beer named after you by 7 brothers. The North Beer, that's a good one. And
it's not bad, that, is it? I think I'll.
Have you tried it?
I have tried it.
Is it
Not
right?
just
I've
once.
tried it.
Oh,
Several times. No, it's fantastic. And they're a great company, aren't they? Seven Brothers.
Yeah.
They're got a lot of pride in what they're doing. Real good Mancunian brand. So I'm really grateful to them for doing that.
Yeah.
And obviously they raise money for 1GM as well as part of it.
Yeah, look, a class brand. And then there was the Vogue last year. They named you the Corona Crush. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Did you read Vogue? How did you react to when you saw that? And you must have been a bit. I mean, if I had got that, I'd have been I'm a Corona Crush.
I think you file that in the category of things you never, in your wildest possible dreams, which you might expect to happen. And I still don't know how it has happened because I'm not even that in my own house with my own wife. Never mind the rest of the public.
Love it. The important date is the 6th of May, and that is going to be the date that we're all heading to towards the re-election. If it does happen, what do you expect or what do you want to achieve during that second stint as mayor?
Yeah, so I've got a really big issue that I'm kind of planting at the heart of this coming election. So I am proud of what I've managed to do, but I now know it's just the start, really. The Greater Manchester itself, there's so much more we could be if we were given the right support, the right investment. And I think the biggest thing that we need to change, I've touched on it already, is transport. So what I'm going to be promising is a London-style public transport system for Greater Manchester. And what I mean by that is an integrated system where you can take as many buses or trams as you want in any day. Mm-hmm. There is then a cap on what you can spend. Mm-hmm. And that's obviously the principle that guides the London system.
Yeah.
And that makes public transport more affordable to people than the car.
Yeah. And
we have the opposite here, where you could get on a bus and buy a bus ticket, and then if you jump on the tram, you have to keep paying again as though you're a new customer. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what I want to see in the next sort of 3 to 5 years, and this is the commitment I'm making at the election, is effectively bus and tram in Greater Manchester becoming one system, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
One single system where ultimately it will be all electric, because the buses will be all electric ultimately. And if you tap on a bus and you can then carry on and jump on a tram, you're still only travelling as one journey, if that makes sense. And I think that change will do more to change the reality of people's lives in Greater Manchester than any other I could make as mayor in that kind of time frame, 3 to 5 years. So that's going to be the big ticket item that I'm putting forward as part of my re-election campaign.
Definitely.
That's exciting stuff.
It is exciting.
Yeah. Manchester's very own Oyster card.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
Oyster card. Yeah.
It is. And, we've got a bit of a graphic as well. People called it the Death Star, but I'm not really a Star Wars person, but it's our version of the tube map. So that's where we've got to go with this. We've got to build towards, a London-style public transport system. Ultimately, we'll bring the trains into that system. Yeah. So it's all completely one system. Bike hire, we're going to have a bike hire scheme on the ground later this year, and that will be integrated into the system. Mm. So, that's where we're going, helping people move in completely different ways than they currently do across Greater Manchester, and actually prioritising public transport rather than the car, which we've kind of been doing for too long now.
Yeah. That will enable so much freedom.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course. And I know that some people, my girlfriend and some of her friends have been sort of offered this choice from employees, and it's kind of like, what do you want to do? Do you want to stay home or do you want to get back into work? And I think that the transport in Manchester, it does kind of put you off a tiny bit, especially with the pricing. And if you've got to get to somewhere like, say, you're going from Stockport to Media City, for example, it can be a hectic journey, and it can cost you a lot. Yeah. So when people are making those decisions, having a transport route like that, because we all want to see the city busy again, because I love it. Love walking around Manchester and it's booming. But if everyone's staying at home, it's not necessarily that.
I think you put it really well there. We've got like a very traditional working week, or we used to have in the days before the pandemic. Monday to Friday, 9 to 5, wasn't it? So everyone was on the road or the transport system at the same time. Yeah. And I hope that when we kind of come out of this, we will make a few changes where we let people mix working from home a bit more with the office, or have a slightly later start time and then a later finish time, so that they can do the school run and balance those kind of issues a bit. So I genuinely believe we can improve people's quality of life coming out of this, and give them a public transport system that's just much more convenient and easier to use and more affordable. So I'm not pessimistic actually about the future. I see massive change ahead for Greater Manchester. That's kind of quite exciting change, because outside of London, I think we are the city where things are happening, aren't we? We are the place 100%. That people are looking to first. And I don't know if you noticed, but late last year, amidst everything, we were officially crowned the fastest growing digital and tech hub in Europe, which is phenomenal, isn't it? And that is evidence that people are coming here. They're buying into the place, aren't they? They like what's happening, and we've got to kind of try and pick up quickly where we left off as soon as the restrictions are over.
Definitely. I mean, that's going to be my final question to you, Andy. It's 2021, 2022, and the future, getting Greater Manchester back on its feet. I think you've mentioned a lot of it, but is there anything else about if you win to be Greater Manchester Mayor again, what does the future hold for the city?
Well, it is about transport, and it is about thinking differently about how we support people to move around. We will push on with the clean air zone because we've got to get more serious about cleaning up the city, making it greener. I think people have valued access to green space, and I think if there's one area where we're a bit weak, I would say it's that. We're not the greenest, are we? Particularly when we come to the city centre, and there's more we can do. More we can do there. But overall, I think it's got to be a green recovery. We need to look at the potential for jobs within the green economy. If you think about it, we've got this ambition to be zero carbon by 2038. If we're going to do that, we have to retrofit every building in Greater Manchester. We have to create a new energy systems. There's so many good jobs to be had in a green economy, and I'm pretty certain that we can be a leader in that. Just as we led the first industrial revolution, why can't Greater Manchester, lead the fourth industrial revolution? And that's certainly the vision that I'm putting forward. A city that's kind of once again at the forefront of change. So I honestly feel really excited about things, but also what gives me encouragement is what I've seen over the last year, and I kind of seen lots of people, rallying around, providing support. I remember some of the work that you've done over the last year, the Manc. You did some brilliant stuff. That care home thing when the carer brought in the cushion, I thought that was just such a brilliant thing. It was a great story, and it was rightly picked up, wasn't it, nationally? But didn't that just speak to everything that we're the care for people, the warmth? I don't know. I just I love that, and I think we have brought a bit of that to people during this pandemic, haven't we? People have tapped into what Manchester's all about. They maybe saw us taking a stand against the government, hopefully for the right reasons, standing up for low-paid workers. They've seen what was going on in our care homes, which you broadcast to people. They've seen Marcus and everything that he's been doing. So I think there's a lot for us to be proud of, and I think with United We Stream, the world has tapped into a bit of our culture. So it's been tough, but we've kept people going, haven't we, through all of this? So so well done to you, and thank you to everyone for the way that they've promoted the place and looked after each other through all of this.
Andy, I think we all agree, a legend, and good luck with the election. Go out and vote, everyone. Make your vote count as well. Have a lovely rest of your day. I know, I guess it's going to be busy. And I guess you're not going to have a day off until, I don't know when your next day off's going to be, because even all the way up to
Friday the 7th of May. There'll be a few King of the Norths going down on Friday the 7th of May, hopefully. The result is right. Actually, there'll be a few going down whether the result's right or it's not right. I think it's fair to say.
Legend. Andy, thank you very much for joining us and spending some time with the Manc. You're absolute privilege to interview. Andy Burnham, everyone, we've got to give him a big round.
Thank you, Andy.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Andy.
Cheers. Well, thanks to you as well. Cheers, everyone.
Nice talking to you. Thank you.
And that was Andy Burnham, legend, giving us time to the Manc to chat about the election, what's coming up. It's going to be a busy time for him. But what did we make of it, Tim?
Absolutely amazing. Really enjoyed that. I think it was really interesting what you were saying about the transport thing.
Yeah.
I found that really interesting.
Cool idea, isn't it?
I'm massive on that because I travel by tram.
Yeah.
So it'd just be revolution.
Sometimes you need to do tram, bus, tram as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need to mix it up, and he's
it's
right.
like
it's just
£4 a ticket.
Yeah,
and
it's
I'm not
fixed
even
rate
going
for everything.
It can be
for a single.
pricey.
Yeah.
Especially as well if people are coming into town, like to tourists and that. I love when I see people getting about Manchester, taking photos, taking pictures, and thinking about how much they must get stung. Like,
Yeah.
That's one reason why I like London.
don't just like I'm too much kissing. But you know what I mean? It can be pricey, can't it?
Yeah.
So it's a good initiative there. Another question is, if we had to do snack of the week for Andy Burnham, what snack would you have brought in? I'm going to go cheese and onion crisps. Just Walkers.
I was going to say salt and vinegar Walkers.
Oh, I was going to say salt and vinegar McCoys.
Ooh,
I really wanted,
what?
and I really wanted to know what kind of crisp he would like, what snack he would like.
Tweet us, Andy.
There's bigger topics at hand here, so we couldn't ask him. But yeah, drop it in the comments. What sort of crisps does Andy like? Do you think?
I'd say savoury because
we could have asked him as well. He wouldn't have. Minded.
I know. It's weird that we can just see a screenshot of him there because it's frozen there. And I feel like I could ask him. But no, it's important that everyone makes the vote count on May 6th, which is coming up. It's coming up
creeping up quickly.
I'm sure you can still register to vote. I know I got an email because I've moved house. I moved from Manchester to Stockport. I got an email to register to vote as well. So I've registered there. Make sure you do your thing and register and make your vote count as well. Any final words, Steph?
I just thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, I really enjoyed
It was
that.
brilliant, wasn't it?
That's it.
It was brilliant. Thank you for keep watching these Manc podcasts. We'll keep them coming. We've got some ace guests coming up over the next couple of weeks as well. So drop us a subscribe, be part of this growing podcast. Tim, well done, sir.
Thank you very much. Well done to you.
Well
done, everyone. Tim. Thank you.
Managing Joe. We thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next time. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye. We're waving for the audio listeners. We're waving. Bye. Hello. We're just going to stop the podcast right there for just a tiny second whilst we let you know about our sponsor. It is, of course, the brilliant Revive and their amazing system that is Helix. If you're a fan of the podcast, you've heard this message before, but it's a bit different because it's all about today getting people back into the pubs and bars. Revive want to get the pubs and bars going again. I know you do, I know I do. I can't wait for it. We're all up for it. They are confident with this new health system called Helix Health Pass that can be a success. Revive want to bring the secure and award-winning V-Code technology to hotel, bars and restaurants to open them with this game-changing solution that allows people to scan their Helix Health Pass before entering a venue. Everyone in attendance will be safe in the knowledge that the people they are mixing with have tested negative for COVID-19 prior to their entry, so you can enjoy your pint with no anxiety. How free will you be in the knowing and the knowledge that everyone there that are around you, in the pubs, in the bars, when things get back to normal, are all negative of COVID-19? It is an amazing system. You can go and check them out now. Links in the description. And let's just do the right thing, Manchester, and get pubs and bars and restaurants back open so we can all have a good drink. Not too many, though. Responsibly, aren't we, Tim? So responsibly. But do the right thing now. Go check out Helix and make sure you join the little revolution that's going on there.